my suitcase.
Wow, where are you going?
See you in February. Hello American football fans and welcome back to NFLUKOPS, American football, British accents. We've got a fantastic show for you today. Remember, hit that like button like Henry and spike that subscribe button like Gronkowski. This week we're discussing the opening game of the season, the Steelers quarterback controversy and also the rise and fall of Antonio Brown. So let's get straight into it with the NFL Weekly Roundup. Before the first game of the season, the NFL paid a touching tribute with a minute's silence to honour Queen Elizabeth II, who sadly passed away this week. As someone who lives in the UK, it meant a lot to us. We will now take a brief pause to show our respect. The opening game of the season saw the Buffalo Bills give the LA Rams an absolute hammering, which brought the SoFi Stadium back down to earth with a crash after their Super Bowl victory in Super Bowl 56. The Bills' offense were unstoppable all night, and had it not been for a few mistakes, they'd have been up by 3 scores at half-time. The LA Rams had no answer to Josh Allen and the offense, and the Bills didn't punt all evening. The Bills looked every bit the Super Bowl favourites that a lot of people deem them to be. To make matters worse, former teammate Von Miller, now looking for his 3rd Super Bowl ring with a different team, got to Stafford twice and made him feel uncomfortable all night. It'll be interesting to see if the Rams can turn it round, or the losses of Andrew Whitworth, Von Miller and Odell Beckham Jr. will be too much to come back from. And did you see Josh Allen's stiff arm? He went full Derrick Henry on Nick Scott. Steelers fans were ready to riot this week after the release of the team's depth chart. The team named Mitch Trubisky captain and QB1, with Mason Rudolph QB2 and rookie Kenny Pickett QB3. After the uproar, it was quickly amended, and Steelers head coach Will.i.am said in his press conference that it was a clerical error and that it was down to a cut and paste element. Andy, can we cut and paste the right name into this, please?
Sorry.
It just shows you, if you kick off enough, you get what you want. So 49ers fans, let's get Jimmy back to QB1. And sorry Mitch, you might be QB1, but more practice is definitely needed to reach the heights of me and Russell. Let's ride! And finally, has Antonio Brown completely lost it? After his unceremonious split with the Buccaneers, he now fancies himself as a world-famous singer and supermodel. This was taken from his audition for Zoolander 3. And just to let you know that this episode is brought to you in partnership with UK American Sports Store. For all your US sports merchandise, visit ukamericansportstore.co.uk. All merchandise comes straight from the US, which means it's top quality. And now it's time to announce the winner of our NFL cap competition. And the winner is @Beanie017. Congratulations. All you need to do is DM UK American Sports Store on Twitter to claim your prize. We hear you're a Metallica fan, so let us know down in the comments which Metallica song you think we should use in one of our videos this week. Because last week's cap competition was so successful, UK American Sports Store have agreed to run a second competition this week to win an NFL cap of your choice. All you need to do is follow the link down in the description on how to enter. And now it's time for our special guest, Bears superfan Claire de Bear, who runs some fantastic giveaways on Twitter, so make sure that you follow for a chance to win some excellent NFL prizes. This is her latest giveaway.
Hey, we're delighted to have Bears superfan and giveaway extraordinaire Claire on the show with us today. How are you doing today, Claire?
I'm okay. Thank you for having me on the show, and welcome to it's known as the Bear Den during the week, but at the weekend it's Giveaway HQ, where we welcome all fans, regardless of your faith, gender, orientation, or NFL affiliation. You're all welcome here.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much for joining us. So we just want to start with just telling us a bit about yourself. How did you become a Bears fan? How did it all begin?
Well, I lost a bet. No, so all the best stories start. It's a dark and stormy night, and some people know that my father was in the military. He's a fan of the team that has recently changed their name, and he can't get over their name change, but we'll just refer to them as Washington for the rest of this interview for political correctness. So he's a Washington fan. He has a friend who's a Cowboys fan. That's how he gets into the NFL, because he's in the military. And so he can't be a Cowboys fan like his friend. He has to be the complete opposite. That tells you so much about my dad. It's unbelievable. But my mum is pregnant at the time with my younger brother. I'm 3 at the time. My mum goes into labour on this dark and stormy January night. We get rushed off to hospital. And instead of where my dad should have been, we sat outside and watched on a small hospital, the deep TV, back when TVs were really deep and you had to kick someone to get up to change the channel and whatnot. And we watched Channel 4's second live coverage of Super Bowl 20. And they have the C on their helmet, and my name's Claire. They play in navy and orange, which are my favourite colours. They go on to beat the Patriots, which is one of my favourite sentences to say, almost as much as we beat the Packers, but we don't get to say that sentence as much. And the heavens opened, destiny called and went, you will now be an NFL fan. You are now a Bears fan. And I just fell in love. And when you're 3, these men look like superheroes hitting each other. It looks like something out of a Marvel film. And I was in.
One thing becoming a fan and loving the sports, but then there's another thing becoming a super fan, which obviously speaking to Ian last week, and obviously now you from a UK perspective, how does that happen?
So most people think what separates fans from super fans is the amount of disposable cash they have to throw at something. And there is a touch of that. I've got no kids, no pets, no partner that lives with me. I open up my wallet and go, Mr. Goodell, please take as much of this as you would like. And there is a touch of that. But what separates super fans is their willingness to help their community and help others for the betterment of the league, their team, or whatever. I do believe that I'm not unique as being a woman that is a super fan. There are many in the States, but I believe I'm the only female super fan here in the UK. But I believe I'm the only super fan that, as much as I'm a bear, and this thing is famous. When I put this, everyone will take this off. No one knows this is the star of the show. I'm just the head that it sits on. I cover every NFL team. No matter who you love, what your team is, I will help you in some way, get some swag for your team. I mean, Claire has some very obvious leanings, but when I'm Claire the Bear, as much as I do have a Bears card and I have to panto-boo the Packers, it's part of our requirement when we stamp our card every year. Are you still a Bears fan? Yes. But if you're a Packers fan, you're entitled to love that thing. If you're a Lions fan, your love for your thing is no less valuable than the love for my thing. As long as you're following me, and if I've teamed up with the other person, so follow me, follow them, retweet, you go in the bucket. I'm not looking at anything, in the bucket, out you come, you have won. I will check that you have done the things that I have asked, but that's it. I'm not checking if you're a Lions fan. I'm not checking if you're a Chargers or what you've won. That's it, because your dad could be a fan and just not on Twitter. Your aunt could be, or whatnot. None of my business.
And just a reminder, you still have a chance to win this Miami Dolphins mini helmet. The competition closes this Thursday, the 15th of September. All the instructions are in this link up here. And now Andy insists that I put this in. It's Mr. Irrelevant.
This week I want to talk about Aaron Donald. Now I know he's an amazing defensive player, probably one of the best ever. But what I want to talk about is the Bengals pre-season practice where he decided to start swinging a helmet round like he was the Mountain out of Game of Thrones. Now I know Pat McAfee says, oh, it was only a practice. And Aaron seems to agree from what I've read on Google. Yeah, it was just a practice game. Yeah, it was just a practice assault. How would you feel if your star player had to miss 6 games because he'd been injured by some psycho swinging a helmet in practice? But the thing that's upset me the most is I looked at Instagram the other day and The Rock's on there saying, here I am working out in the Rams gym with my good friend Aaron. Now, as usual, I'm talking about things I don't know about, and I'm actually a big fan of The Rock. Maybe Dwayne and Aaron have been mates since they were 10, but to me it just looks like a PR stunt. Oh, Aaron must be a nice guy, because he works out with The Rock. Now, firstly, I expected more from you, Dwayne, although, while we're at it, the hierarchy in the DC universe isn't changing. Superman could kick Black Adam's arse. Anyway, that's a conversation for another show. I'm looking at you, James and Mason. Where does it all end? Here I am, working out with my good friend, Ted Bundy. Here I am, working out with my good friend, Hannibal Lecter. It's just crazy. It'll be interesting to see what happens next pre-season practice. Maybe that's what Aaron was talking to The Rock about. Maybe he wants some hints and tips on how to Jumanji the hell out of the opposition next time. Anyway, back to Tony Romo.
Thanks, Andy. I'll take that. And now, more from Claire de Bear.
In terms of talking NFL this season, then now,
Yeah.
what's your expectations for the Bears this season?
this interview's over. I'm leaving. No, I have not got high hopes. This was a conversation I had on the August bank holiday with some NFL friends that we went to a barbecue, and so we had the Titans and the Saints represented, and I was the lone bear in the house, and I will be happy if we have 5 Ws. I'm not looking for, because we've had huge changes. Coaches, half of our roster's gone. We're trying to shortchange everyone, blah, blah, blah. I can get the little violin out and play the world's saddest tune on the world's smallest violin. I mean, don't get me wrong, we haven't got Brown's troubles and we haven't got some other troubles, which God bless, thank you. So I'm looking for 5 wins, but good wins. And I want more than, Pence, if you're listening, teams are allowed to score more than 17 points a game. That's very much allowed in the NFL these days. So I'm expecting our wins, and I'm expecting higher than the 2 score points on the board. I want to see Fields grow, and I want to see our young core come together. So we're going to take our lumps this season. I am mentally and physically prepared for this as a Bears fan. But I think for next season. Oh, it's always next season. We're such a deluded bunch. Always next. It's always coming over the hill. It's always on the hill. But if we can come together as a young, because we've got a nice young core that doesn't cost too much, then it's looking up. But we have to take our lumps now. And I could see us having a top 3, top 5 pick this season. But then, because we've got this young core, do we trade that away and get some more assets in? But I'm not a GM. None of us are. Quietly hopeful, but know what we're getting, if that makes ever the. And the thing is, as a Bears fan, if you always think your team sucks and then they win, it's a lovely surprise. You either get to go, yes, I was right, and be like, yeah, or you get to go, oh, we won. So let's just have a shout out for the women of the BAFA young ladies who came second in the world, not Europe, the world, to America, which is their national sport, Phoebe Schechter and those young ladies, none of those ladies have been playing football more than 9 seasons, because we haven't had a program longer than that. And this summer just gone, and it was on the Olympic channel, and they've got some bits on YouTube and whatnot. It was brilliant to watch. Mexico had something horrible happen. I won't go into that, but their players schlepped their arses across 4 flights and to get to that to play. And they were wonderful to see. The GB girls came second, and some of those girls had not played 11-on-11 football before the tournament. And we came second to we were so close to bringing the other type of football home. It was beautiful. So no shame at all.
Every week we'll give our score predictions. Here's our score predictions for this week. Make sure you let us know down in the comments what you think will happen in week 1. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you join us next week, where Claire de Bear tells us some funny stories about meeting NFL superstars. And also, this Friday, I'll be joining Britsburg Owen live to talk this weekend's games. So don't miss that. And as always, hit it like Henry and spike it like Gronk. What are you doing?
I'm having a party. I'll see you in February.